right there on top of the moon. We could sit and do nothing. I wish we were bold to just fly away.
Hi everyone, it's Laura here at Ruby's Bees Journal and welcome back to my channel. As a paper crafter, I have a lot of paper scraps, so I wanted to use them up. So a really good way to do this is to make collages on tags and make ephemera for your journals with them. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys today, and how I make these little tags. So I've just collected a bunch of scrap pieces, so from previous projects, so it can be magazine pages, scrapbook pages, old collages, old art, anything that you like. It can be stickers, anything. So here I am just playing around with composition and what I would like to put in the collage. A few collage tips that I have is to try and stick with a colour scheme. So if you have a pink poppy or a red poppy, for example, let's try and go like with a complementary scheme with that. So I'm trying to find some things to go with this little red poppy, and I found this pink paper that I had from some Happy Mail that Annie kindly sent me, and I'm just playing around with what looks really nice on there, and I'm just trying to cover up that blue butterfly because I really wanted to use that paper because it's really nice. It's like a newspaper, and I really wanted to use it, so I really needed to cover up that butterfly. So I'm just sticking it down with some PVA glue, and what I like to do is I just like to stick it on the piece and then cut the excess off. I just find it so much easier to do that than try and fiddle around with cutting the shapes out first time. So I'm just sticking that down onto the tag, and I made these tags myself with just some watercolour paper, and I'm just choosing some washi tapes to stick on there as well to add some extra texture and some extra pattern. So I'm using these ones that I bought from Hobbycraft, so I'm just using some washi tape to go with that poppy, and I chose this one. It's like a vintage postal mark one. I think it would look really cute with that poppy. So then I'm just going to stick that poppy down and then cut the excess paper off from the back of the tag. I just find this method so much easier to do than trying to cut the paper to the shape of the tag. So I'm just trimming it off with my scissors, and then I'm just going to ink up the edges, of course, with my vintage photo ink stain, distress ink. I'm using this one today because I felt like I've used my walnut stain quite a lot recently and I felt like it needed a break. So I've just chosen these stamps to add some extra interest to the tag. So I've chosen this sort of vintage handwriting one, and I'm just using my acrylic block to stick it on there, and then using my distress ink as well so that it kind of blends in. And I decided to use the brown distress ink again because I felt like it blended in a bit better rather than black, because I felt like the black would have been a bit too bold. So I'm just putting my things away, and I'm just adding a sentiment, and these are the stickers from Tim Holtz, and I can't remember which collection they're from. I think it's the Chatterbox collection, but I'm not entirely sure, and I apologise if you can hear my fan and the clock in the background. We have many grandmother clocks and antique clocks in the house, because so I felt that went really well with the poppy. So I chose this one that says a very wonderful place, and I felt like that went really well with the flower theme. So I'm just going to grab another blank tag and do something very similar. So I was thinking about using that piece of ephemera from the Happy Mail that Annie sent me, and I was going for a pink scheme again, and maybe a bit of blue because I like the blue in that little ephemera piece with the bird. So I'm just playing around with some scrap pieces. really liked that flower in the background, so I was going to add that there as well, because I know it doesn't really have pink in it, it just looks a bit lilac-y, and the ephemera piece has a bit of like pink and lilac in it, so I thought that would tone really nice with the rest of the things. So I'm just sticking everything down in the background. This was quite a fast one actually compared to my first tag that I made. I think I was getting into the rhythm of things. So I really wanted that piece of paper behind there, and I was just deciding if I wanted it at the far back, and then I turned the piece over and I realised that it had this really nice pattern on the back, so I ended up using that instead and gluing the blue side down. I think this paper was from the Natural History set. I'm not sure which one. It's definitely the Natural History Museum paper, and it's so nice. I'll try and leave a link in the description box down below for you guys, because I really love that paper. It's so nice. It's all the vintage illustrations. So again, I'm just using that same stamp and the same distress ink just to add some more text and interest to the piece. And then I'm just going to cut off the excess again with my scissors. I love working with vintage paper, it's so pretty. And I am going to ink up the edges again using the vintage photo. So that is what the tag looks like when it's all finished. I'm so happy with this one, I think it looks really pretty. And then we're just going to work on the last tag for this video. I really wanted to use that Natural History Museum paper again, and I really like this plant on the paper that I had, so I really wanted to make it a sort of neutral schemed collage. So I really wanted that plant to be the focal point of my collage, so I'm just here playing around with all the scrap pieces of paper that I have lying around again and seeing what tones well with it and what looks really nice. So I went with greens and bluey and beige kind of colour scheme because that's what I could see in the photo. And I'm just trying to figure out where I actually wanted the pieces of paper to go. I find that's the hardest part of collaging, so sometimes it might be a good idea to take a picture of what your collage looks like before you try and stick it down and move it, or if you're just like me and just try and wing it. That's my motto. I usually just wing everything, so I can usually remember where things go. So I'm just sticking it all down again with my PVA glue. And the last piece I'm adding. And I'm adding some of that postal mark washi tape again because I felt like it went really well. And I'm just sort of blending in that ripped paper edge. So I'm just cutting the excess off again. And then I'm just going to ink up those edges again with my distress ink. I think that's a very necessary step in my paper crafting. And then I'm going to add a sentiment to this tag as well. I realised after that I didn't add a sentiment to the last one, but I do actually add one in the end. And then I found this sticker that said curious looking, and I thought that would look really nice on this tag because I'm very curious about the plant on there. I'm not sure what kind of plant it would be, so that's kind of why I went for the curious looking sentiment sticker. And there we have our final tags, and I think they look so nice together, and I think this is such a good project to use up all those paper scraps and things you have lying around. And I think I'll be making more of these in the future because they're blank on the back, so you can write on them and add them to your journals. And later on you'll see that I've actually added a sentiment. I chose learning to fly because I felt like it went really well with that bird. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I've got lots and lots of videos planned for the future, so if you want to stay tuned for that, just hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like and let me know what you'd like to see next. So have a great day guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!